Shalom, 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 shalom. My name is Shifrah, Yocheved Israel, and I am here to bring something of priceless value to you, not to take something from you. Kingdom marriages. This is going to be in continuation of Song of Songs 3 and 4. Also added is MISHLEI, or you may know as Proverbs 31:10-31, the virtuous woman. So we're talking about the kingdom woman who may or may not be a mother or wife, or she may be a spiritual mother. She may be a mentor or a teacher or something to that whole arena of those that are like Naomi. She may be like Prophetess Deborah. One you don't want to mess with, because she's one that is going to roar. She's got that lioness within her, with that courage and that fire, that holy fire, and she's shedding holy light, defending and protecting life and all life forms. One who carries the perfect love, ahava love, and the glory. Glory is similar to the light. And this is what we're going to talk about right now. We're going to get into the building. We're going to build on love, life, and light. It's like bricks or blocks, so to speak. So you want to build one brick or one block at the time. And then you must be sure that the foundation, that there is a firm foundation, that the foundation is not shaky, that the foundation is solid. So as we go forward, we're going to get into all of that about the building. Many right now are seeing that this is definitely a time of the prophetesses and the prophets. It's more like those who were builders, those who actually knew how to design something, to build a legacy, to build a fortress in whatever capacity it is about building. Now, in reference to the kingdom woman, who may or may not be a kingdom mother or wife yet, she is one who is going to build her natural house and also the spiritual house. The woman is the one that helps to build. And of course, the husband or the father, or maybe he's only a husband or not a husband just yet, is the one who is going to come together as the two come together to build. A good illustration and example of this may be Aquila and Priscilla. There are many others that built a legacy, that knew how to build. But for right now, we're going to focus and zone in on Aquila and Priscilla. And we're going to come back to them. We're going to put a check there. And we're going to revisit that at another time. And then there's natural and spiritual birthings. Now, many may talk about having babies or miraculous pregnancies. However, there is a lot more to giving birth than just having babies in the natural. Some are giving birth to kingdom marriages. Others are giving birth to kingdom ministries. Others are giving birth to kingdom entrepreneurship. Others are giving birth to something that maybe nobody else did before. Perhaps it is a combination of the kingdom ministry with the kingdom entrepreneurship, and it also includes the kingdom marriage. Now, there is the counterfeit marriage, or the illegal marriages, with the imposters, the pretenders, the foe, the usurper, whatever you want to call it. It is said that You have to be very careful about who you marry, because there are times when a person may not actually see who their kingdom spouse is. It could be because they need to have those who are around them that are ones who are able to birth forth these kingdom marriages, because all of the marriages are made in the spiritual realm before it's manifested in the natural realm. So it's necessary to have spiritual parents, a spiritual mother and father, so to speak, or a spiritual mentor, or someone who has already been down that road and has wisdom, who has understanding, clarity, discernment. Because there are times when we hit the target every time until it comes to us and our situation or our limited view of what we think we know about a person, or if this person is actually sent from heaven. And throughout the day, we may see many signs, wonders. We could even see miracles. It may not realize those are miracles that we are seeing. And that is why we need to have our antennas, our spiritual antennas, on high alert, so that we will understand and we will know and we will receive the confirmations that are given to us through various methods. Sometimes through people, sometimes through places, sometimes through names, numbers, words, colors. It could be anything. Sometimes you may have something happen in waking life that just doesn't make any sense, and you're like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Using your logic, you can't figure it out. You don't understand it. You can't wrap your head around it. And that is probably because you need to refrain from using your natural mind to try to figure it out, because it's not going to work. You need spiritual understanding. You need discernment. You need revelation. You need illumination. You need to be able to decipher all of the various codes in the spiritual realm, so you will know exactly what it is that is being communicated to you during that time. And flowers are everywhere. Flowers are so beautiful. Flowers are so lovely. And there's one last point regarding all of this, and that is that we cannot rely on ourselves. A lot of times people depend on themselves too much, and then they find out later they missed a whole lot. They missed a whole 3 chapters and a whole lot of and a whole lot of valuable information. And that's not uncommon. However, we can avoid all of that by going down the wrong road or having to make a U-turn, by being in tune to the GPS of the maker of the heavens and earth above and beyond. So yes, we have to build. There's a kingdom building going on, to build in the spiritual realm and the natural realm, to build, and it will not be on sinking sand. It will not be on quicksand. It will not be on a foundation that is not solid and sure. And the natural and spiritual birthings is very, very amazing, because it could be just about anything that needs to be birthed forth. You know, you have to push, just like with a woman in labor giving birth to a baby. You have to push. You have to push out the promise. You have to push. It's necessary to push. It's necessary to push. And it's also necessary to have integrity. Whether you are a kingdom woman, or if you are a kingdom man, or if you are a kingdom boy or girl, it doesn't matter how you classify yourself or what spiritual season or natural season you are in right now. You want to be sure that you have a good name, good character, good integrity. The example for that is the ambassador Yocheved, the one who wore the coat of many colors. This particular lad was one who I would say was holy, pure, innocent, had a good name, had excellent character, and definitely knew the true voice of truth, and was not going in the wrong direction, even though it may have been difficult. So we have to be sure that we stay in a place in the holy light, where there is life and where there is perfect, pure love. We don't want to embrace or accept anything that is not true, the counterfeit. And one more thing is that we have to be aware, alert, and awake when it comes to assumptions and accusations. Assumptions and accusations. Many will fall into the trap and tricks of wanting to condemn someone or criticize somebody about whatever it is that they want to criticize them about. And we have to be very careful about doing that, because we are supposed to be ones who stay out of chaos and confusion, to stay out of meddling in other people's private affairs. It doesn't matter whether they're family, they're friends. We still need to respect people. We still need to be polite to people. We still need to love people with clean and pure hearts and clean thoughts. We need to love them with the heart of the maker of the heavens and the earth. So as you go forth, remember, romance is in the air, love is in the air, but we must be sure that we have come into divine alignment with the maker, so that we do not go the wrong way and make the wrong choices. We have to have wisdom, so we should always seek wisdom first above everything else, and we must also love above everything else. We must be humble. We must seek the absolute truth in everything. Otherwise, you're going to build on a lie, and that's not going to work, because the divided house will not stand. It will fall down. It will crash. It will burn. It will be destroyed. It won't last. There's no way you can make it work. And obedience is mandatory. It's not optional. Obedience is mandatory. So in coming together with Song of Songs 3 and 4, with a taste of the virtuous woman, who may or might not be a mother or wife just yet, I definitely connected that this woman is the example for us today. This woman is the example for us today. Perhaps this woman may have been like Rebecca, I believe, is a Proverbs, a virtuous woman, a woman that had wisdom, a woman full of grace, a woman that was speaking life, speaking love, speaking life, speaking love, life, light, and truth. And very careful of the words that were being spoken. So as you go forth, remember, we are blessed to be a blessing, And as we go through and read all about the virtuous woman in MISHLEI 31, 10 to 31, or some of you may know it as Proverbs, keep in mind that this woman was one who was loyal and faithful and monogamous. She was everything that any 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 man would desire in a woman. She was beautiful, she was lovely, she was charming, she was considerate, she was generous. So as you go forth, think about whether you desire to be a kingdom woman that pleases the maker, who your husband admires and adores, and your children and your children's children, and even strangers? Or do you want to be one of those silly women who sit about and talk about nonsense and things that are foolishness? Or do you want to be a wise woman? Remember, a wise woman builds up her house, and a woman who is not wise tears her house down. So be sure that you are a builder. Be sure that you are one who manages your time, talent, and treasure with excellence. Be sure that the words that you speak are words that are life producing, love producing, light producing. Examine your hearts, examine your minds, examine the words that you speak. Are those words that are laced with bitterness? Are those words that lace with hatred? Are those words unkind and unloving? You have to take the love test so you can pass it. So as you go forth, examine it, measure it, spend time in the secret place, in that quiet, silent place, and desire to be transformed, desire to change. Take the first step and change. Don't stay where you've been for the last 5 years or 10 years. And if you're one who is not there, and you're more like this woman, and you're more like that beautiful bride, go forth and continue to honor and reverence the Maker, the name above all names, and love your husband, love your kingdom husband as yourself. Do not betray your husband. And betrayal is not always about infidelity. Many people get that mixed up. Just speaking words that you shouldn't be speaking about him to other people is dishonor. And be sure that as you go about, you are one who works well with your hands, and that you are loving and kind to all of humanity and all of creation. So as we go forward and we go deeper, as we read more, and we go deeper spiritually, whatever songs, names, numbers, words, colors, animals, whatever comes to you, share it. Everything matters. Everything. Anything can be a sign of something or a symbol. So never just dismiss it. Write down what you see. Write down the dreams and the visions and the visitations. Write down divine appointments, people you meet. Write down confirmations that happen. Take nothing and no one for granted. Write it out. Write it out. Write the vision and make it plain. So as you go forth, congratulations to you. Whether you are married, unmarried, betrothed, or widowed, it doesn't matter. All women are called and chosen to rise up for such a time as this, to do something, to say something. They say if you see something, say something. Well, if you see something, do something. We're not here to sit idle. We're not here to be stagnant or stuck. We're not here to be complacent or compromise or comply or bow down. We are here to be stirred up, pushed to roar like the lionesses, like the queen of the jungle, and to take back our nations, every tribe, every tongue, every region, every territory. That's right. we're not going to be silent. We're not to be silent. We are to speak up and defend the widows, the orphans, the widows, the strangers, and the imprisoned. Let us declare and decree together. Avinu Makino, our Father, our King, we thank you for every good and perfect gift. We thank you for divine connections. We thank you for destiny helpers that you've given to us. We thank you for leading us and guiding us with your perfect holy light. We thank you for opening up doors that no person can close and closing doors that no person can open. We thank you for this new spiritual season and natural season. We thank you for giving us divine revelation when it comes to the spiritual seasons and times. We thank you for reminding us to incline our ears to hear your true voice, the only voice of truth, and to allow ourselves to be sharpened spiritually so we can be alert, awake, and aware of the seasons and the times, both naturally and spiritually, in the land of the living. We thank you that you're taking us back to the original roots of ours, to the garden where we're supposed to be, so we can uproot everything that needs to be uprooted, so we can break all the chains of bondage and deception and oppression and everything else that is not our portion. We declare and we decree the victory. Wisdom is our portion. Wisdom is our portion. Wealth is our portion. Prosperity is our portion. And that means that we are lacking in nothing. So as you go forward, please continue to read Song of Songs. We're going to go into it deeper, and we're going to read the next two chapters tomorrow, 5 and 6. But also read MISHLEI 10:22. Also read Devarim 8:18. Remember the generational blessings and the promises. Don't give up on it. Remember the royal rich inheritance that you have. You are not here to struggle or to strive. You are here to thrive. You are here because we are blessed to be a blessing. So go forth and bless people. You don't need any person's permission to bless anybody. And remember, put no one and nothing above the name above all names. Not any person, any place, anything, any group, any club. Be sure that you are honoring and obeying the Maker. Sweet sleep to each and every one of you, and shalom. Be sure that you are feeding your spirits. Feed your spirit. Feed your spirit. Hunger and thirst for holiness, righteousness, purity, and even more than that. And you will surely go to the promised land. And be sure to wear your crown, wear it well. Shalom.